Hey guys, how's it going? My name's always, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. Oh wow, this series, I have really hated this series here lately, and the main reason is my favorite thing ever, bees. We'll get to that in a moment. So last episode we were working on, what were we doing? It's been a while. Um, I don't actually remember what we were doing, to be honest. We were doing something, and it might come to me later, might not. It's been a while. It's been a while since I recorded the last episode, I'll be honest. But, right, we were getting Reaper, we were getting souls. I've done a lot of work between episodes. I got a lot of souls, including some important ones, like blazes, gas, um, the wither skeletons, slimes, got some villagers and endermen. Those are a little bit easier to get. The gas one is really important because we're going to need that for advanced Galgadorian blocks. Enhanced? Enhanced. Whatever it is called. Anyways, I have been working with bees for the past couple of days, and I actually mean that. Past couple of days, I've been working with bees, and they've taken a while, but we are ready to jump into Gendustry today. I have the Infinity Drones. I have both of these guys, plus a princess that is unfortunately ignoble and not purebred, but I also got a Certus drone on accident, actually. I just wanted to show that off. We'll get to the bees in a moment. We'll go over there and do some stuff. This took forever. I'm not even joking about that. It took forever. But we did it. So that's going to allow us to get into Industry today and start working on better automation for bees, which means we can get more stuff and better stuff and good stuff. We made the cyanide reprocessor. We did a whole bunch of like random things last time. This is making plenty of stuff and making more power and whatnot. I decided to go ahead and throw... Wow, this is almost halfway done. I threw a stack of glowstone in there just to make a whole bunch of Cenarium pieces. We did automation last time for the higher tier solar panels. Still working on that. I managed to get almost 5 buckets of UU matter, so I have almost a stack of, it's like 42-ish iridium ore, which is really nice. Between episodes, I went ahead and expanded the diamond farm, made some more blocks of diamond ore, and let's see, I sped up this stuff. So this stuff is using a lot more power just to get through the dust and the gravel a little bit faster. The gravel especially because we're going to need a lot of diamonds. And yeah, collecting mob souls. So, yeah, let's get to... Is there anything else that I did? Still working on getting more villager and blood, all that kind of stuff. I'm at like 600,000. We're going to need 16 million, so that's something that I've been kind of putting off a little bit too. It's a pain as well. And yeah, so first things first, let's talk about bees. So I did a couple of things. First of all, I went ahead and made a hydro regulator, a heater, and some frame housings. All of which are pretty easy. The frame housings just require some golden electron tubes, which are simple enough. And let's see, not the fan, the heater is just some stone and some golden electron tubes, and then the hydro regulator is just some glass and iron. This was just to make it so that I had a couple bees that were wanting hot and arid, so I had to do something about that. The heater helped a little bit, but not. It requires power. That's why it wasn't working. I should have guessed that. I didn't look at the tooltip, but I climatized them and all that kind of fun stuff. The hydro regulator, you can put lava, water, and crushed ice in it, which changes humidity. Lava makes it drier. Water makes it more humid. And the frame housings allow you to put frames in. Each one gives you one. You could have a bunch of frames, but I did this just because it's automatic. You can automate it with just pipes. And this guy already gives you a lot of product, but with frames it'll give you even more. So it's just another boost to everything. So we also have some rare treasure. I got this while killing mobs, trying to get souls. And I wanted to open this on camera just in case we got another star or something like that. Something cool, but we didn't. So, with the Infinity Bees, we have Infinity Combs. And this is the key to get into Gendustry. So the Infinity Combs are going to give us power modules, and we're going to need a lot of these. We're going to need like 6 or 7 off the bat. So we're going to let this run and hopefully get some good stuff. Now we're going to have to teach the system how to make a bunch of things. And how do we want to do this? Because we do have some auto crafting here, but not much. And this is already full. I don't really want to do much. Oh, something else I did. I went ahead and finished the ME controller, so it looks big and nice and cool. And added more storage just because I could. And it was kind of why not. We're just kind of waiting around. So how do I want to do this? This is going to be mostly bees. So we could put... I could hook this up to the main system and then just put a import bus or something. I don't know. I don't think it matters too much. We'll kind of deal with it, but we have 5 power modules. That's not too bad. It's like a 50% chance from each of the combs, so that's not too bad to begin with. So we need to start teaching the system how to make some Gendustry stuff. And you know what? We're just going to get rid of all that and do Gendustry. So the first thing we need to teach the system how to make is we need to teach the system how to make a lot of the parts. So bee receptacles. So we're going to need the gold weighted pressure plates. Now, do we have glass panes? Yes. We have bronze taught to the system. Alright, so do we have any more space? We have a little bit right there, but not much more. Okay, so we have that. We can make a pressure plate that's weighted now, the gold ones, which is nice. So then we can teach the system how to make bee receptacles, and we're going to need those. Let's go ahead and tell the system to make some more interfaces. We have one. This might be enough. Can I put this somewhere, or is this full up? No, it's not full up. We'll just put it right here. I'll clean this stuff up later. I don't really feel like doing that right now. That's going to be a mess to clean up. So we have the bee receptacle. Let's go ahead and make one of those. And we're going to need the genetics processor, which is going to be a processing recipe. So we're going to need diamond. I believe it's 2 diamonds. 2 nether quartz and a pulsating chipset. So we're going to need to teach the system how to make the pulsating chipsets as well. Actually, yeah, we're going to need a few of these, I think. Might as well teach the system how to make them. You know what? Nah. Let's get just a half. Let's get a 16 ender pearls and same amount of redstone. And we'll just go ahead and do that over here. So pulsating chipsets. It'll make those. We'll get a couple of those here in a moment. And you know what? We're not going to teach the system how to make this. The bee receptacles we're going to need. Power modules, sturdy casings. Alright, how much of that stuff do we know how to make? So pistons, we know. Casings, we know. And I believe bronze gears. Okay, so we should be able to teach the system how to make this guy. So let's get a bronze gear. Let's get a casing. Let's get some glass and a piston. And the biggest thing that we need to teach this system how to make is this industrial apiary. So this is going to be incredibly important, and we'll worry about other things later. I don't know that I told it to make any glass, but there we go. So it should be done with everything, so we should see. Cool. So that is the industrial apiary. We're going to want a bunch of those very, very soon. So let's go ahead and put those there. We're going to want some muted. We're going to want a mutagen producer. Let's just craft this. We're only going to need one of these, so we're going to need, let's see, another gear. And a hopper, which we don't know how to make, so let's just go ahead and do this. And we're also going to need a mutagen tank, which is pretty cheap. Something else we're going to want to teach the system how to make is labware, which is easy enough. Let's grab some quartz, and we have some pulsating chipsets. We do. Cool. So the mutagen producer is the first step that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and make that. And this guy is going to require a lot of power. We're also going to need some sort of, well, something to make mutagen. Now mutagen is, where are we going to put this stuff? I guess right here will be fine. Let's break this. Mutagen producer. Awesome. So this requires a lot of power. 1,000,000 RF, but it's 1,000,000 RF no matter what we use. But here's the cool thing. We can use uranium blocks. And that's going to produce a good bit of mutagen. And honestly, we don't have any other use for the extra uranium-238. So is it 238 or 235? I think it's 235. So we have 11K of this. Now, if we put this like so, we can grab as much of that as we want. And honestly, let's grab a chest. And let's grab a item conduit, item duct thing, plus a servo. And we're gonna make this kind of simple for ourselves. Also, let's just go ahead and put in here. We're going to need one. How many more of these are we going to need for right now? We want to get the Mutatron. We're going to need 3 of them. So let's grab enough for 3. So quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4. Diamonds. 2, 3, 4. And then the pulsating chipsets times 2. Alright, cool. So that'll make what we need. Let's go ahead and sleep because why not? And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a system just to dump in a bunch of blocks of uranium into the mutagen producer. We're going to need power cables. So flux ducts. Can we make like 40 of those? We're missing niter. We're always missing niter. What's a good way to get niter? Do we have many blitz rods? No, but we can start summoning in some blitzes. And I don't know if that's something we're going to want to like have a good supply of or not, but we can summon in a whole bunch. We can kill them pretty easily, and we'll have plenty of looting and whatnot, so that'll be fine. Let's go ahead and do this. Don't need the Bealizer right now. In fact, I'm going to take the Bealizer off completely because we don't really need it. And let's put a chest here. This goes here. Ignored. And we're going to put on our hazmat suit so that we can grab a bunch of uranium. Now, obviously, we're going to want a good bit of uranium for our reactors, but we can spare a handful of stacks of this stuff. Okay, cool. So this should give us plenty of mutagen forever, and we'll just dump all that in there. Let's put blocks on the bar, I guess. We'll get rid of the cobblestone, and we'll move all those bees. But we can go ahead and take off this stuff. I keep forgetting I have the ender pouch. I should probably use it more often. So is there anything else we can put away for right now? We actually don't need the Thaumanomicon anymore. So that's something we can get rid of. But yeah, so, alright, we need to kill these guys. And this will give us a bunch of niter and whatnot, so might even have given us a soul. Don't know that we... Wow, we have 29 niter. That's good for now. So that's a decent way to get niter. So let's make the flux ducks. Again, let's make like 40 of them. And that should not be a problem. We can go ahead and at least start hooking up some stuff. Now this machine is going to be next to another machine. So we can go ahead and break that and put both of these here. Just take all these guys over here. Now something of note, I was going to mention this and I kind of forgot to, but something to make note of is, as you can see, I have these apiaries, underneath them is skystone. So there's a handful of bees, there's actually 3 bees, that you need blocks underneath. So the skystone bees require skystone underneath. Now it doesn't affect any of the other bees, so it's not that big of a deal, but it does require skystone underneath. The earthen bees require bricks, and the windy bees require oak leaves. And those are bees you need to get through to get to the infinity bees. It doesn't work with the alveary, and I've heard things about the mutator being bugged in this version. Don't know if it's true or not, but just things to kind of keep note of. Now, once we are kind of ready to do the whole thing with Gendustry, that type of stuff doesn't matter at all. So it doesn't matter if you have... If the bee needs anything special, you can make it. Now, we're going to want the advanced mutatron to do that. So the mutatron is what allows you to forcibly mutate the bees. Ignobles have a chance of degrading. We're going to take care of that with Botania, actually. But the big thing to kind of make note of is the mutatron is what forcibly kind of makes the bees mutate. It also works for trees, but we don't care about that, and whatnot, and anything else with the forestry. So the mutatron is really good, but the advanced mutatron is a little bit better. They do the same thing. The difference is, say you have bees like common drones. Can we look at those? No. So say you have a common drone. Now common drones will give you cultivated. With common cultivated, there is 2 options, diligent and noble. So the mutatron picks one at random. The advanced mutatron allows you to select. So that's something to keep note of, and is the reason why we're going with the advanced mutatron. So mutatron is the next thing we need to make. Can we go ahead and make this? No. We need a mutagen tank. That's easy enough. We're going to need 2 more bee receptacles. And we're only ever going to need 1 of these machines, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to need a casing. And we're going to need some more bronze. So let's just tell the system to make like 100 bronze. That'll be fine. And we have our flux. Flux ducts. Perfect. So, yeah, basically, this is going to allow us to get every bee we want. And the ignobles do have a chance of becoming genetic waste, which is not a good thing. Also, this machine should start running now. It'll take a little bit of time. It's going to use a lot of power. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on our power system over here. If we need to get more of these guys, we should be fine. This guy's almost out, so this guy should start kicking off. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I can make more of these guys relatively easily. And in fact, I might already have started working on it. Culinary, we have 52. So what do we need? 12 more? Alright, I'll just go ahead and tell that to start making it. Just in case. So what do we need? The processor. I don't know why I didn't do that, but there is the Mutatron. Now the next thing we're going to need, isn't this also an achievement, by the way? Options, no. What is the achievement that we have to do? Oh, craft a Gendustry power module. Did I get that? No. Okay, so I guess it's take that. What is... Oh, I'm seeing the maybe it wants us to make a apiary. That might be it. But we'll do that here in a minute. So the Mutatron, we're going to want the advanced Mutatron now. And this is pretty easy. It's just going to require a bunch of gears. And what's the other two things? 2 more genetics processors. So genetics processors. And once that's done, we'll have the advanced Mutatron, which is kind of awesome. So the only thing left that we're going to need to do is make an apiary. And the apiaries are going to give us, are going to use power, which is fine. And kind of the same thing as everything else. We just need to, we lost the flower. Huh, what have all these guys been running off of? That's a little weird. Alright, so let's just get rid of all this stuff. We don't need to have a lot of the same things that we did before. So unknown, 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 unknown. This stuff can go in here. And what we'll have is just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will be kind of bee product stuff. And we can extract them later and whatnot so that there's stuff so that we don't have to worry about like, oh, so we can automate all the processing and all that kind of stuff. So we can take the combs and send them over here, which might be underneath as well, and just whatever we want to do. So let's go ahead and break these guys as well. We don't really need them anymore. Don't need the signs. And yeah, so what we'll probably end up doing is putting everything in here and then filtering this out. These are only 4Ks. We might want to up those to 64Ks, but that's not a problem. Unknowns. And guess we'll put those in there. Okay. So, do we finally have the gears? Let's go ahead and sleep. And yeah, so now that we have access to all this stuff, gears, 4 gears. So there is the advanced Mutatron. This is going to make my life so much easier. So we'll just place this down. And there's a couple more machines that we're going to want to make at some point, but we'll get to that later. We need more stuff. So this is full of mutagen. This is going to produce more mutagen until it's done. We're going to want a lot of labware. Let's go ahead and make 300 of that. That'll be fine. And can we make an industrial apiary? We are missing a power module, so not quite. So what that means is we need to run our Infinity Bees one more time through here. So it doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to put the other ones in here, and we can start setting up some other stuff. So The other machines that we're going to want is we're going to want the genetic imprinter and the genetic sampler. Imprinter and genetic sampler. Those are really important, and then we're also going to want some other things. We're going to want upgrades. So upgrades are really, really, really important. So we're going to teach the system how to make those. The first one is the upgrade frame, which is pretty easy. Just 10 redstone and gold. And we're going to get one of those. We're going to want production upgrades. So we're going to want a gear. And this is the hard part with the production upgrades. They're also going to require royal jelly. So do we have any royal jelly? Of course not. Also, this is causing lightning because energetic has lightning. There's a chance that it'll burn the top, but I don't believe anything else is burnable. So we can't do anything else. We can't make the production upgrades yet. We'll do that later. Production upgrades are going to be super important once we have good bees that we want. But we can go ahead and make some of the other ones. So we're going to want light upgrades so the bees work at night. Just give me normal glass, please. And what else are we going to want? Automation. Automation is really important. So that one's easy enough. We're going to want automation upgrades. Now, all these upgrades are going to require... Wait, that's not automation. That was lifespan. Lifespan's also somewhat important if you're trying to get certain bees. So we'll go ahead and teach the system how to make those. I don't know that we'll use those as often. Rain protection, not super important. Heater upgrades and humidity and stuff like that is good, but not important. Alright, so we just need a piston. So let's go ahead and make one of those. And that should be all that we need right now. So we'll go ahead and put these in here. And let's hope for a comb. So any combs? We have 3. That is good odds. So comb input. This is something that we will probably, like I said, we'll probably hook this guy up. You know, I'm going to go ahead and make 10 64Ks. Let's go ahead and do these. We need a lot of surge quartz for that. That might not be good. Can we make them like this? No. Can we make 4? No, we need a lot of surge quartz. Why are we running so low on surge quartz? That's, well, probably because I made a whole bunch of them before. But, please tell me it made at least one. Uh-oh. Please. Please give me just one. Oh, no. Okay, so let's grab our Beealizer. This is the fun part. So I actually had the issue come up while I was doing work with bees of I accidentally put the wrong ones in and accidentally got bees I didn't necessarily want. And that's not ever good. So yeah, that was a fun experience. So what can we do in the meantime while we're waiting on bees? Let's see. One of the big things that we're going to be working towards is the mob spawners. So we have some stabilized mob spawners, and that's what the mob souls are for. So we can make stabilized mob spawners. Oh, right, I wanted to do that. We can make stabilized mob spawners with mob souls. Now, I have a safari net in here because there's one mob that I kind of want that we don't have access to. So a couple ingredients that are really hard to get. If we look at the Galgadorian metal, we're going to need like 30 of this. And obsidian, easy enough. Slime, I have slime souls. We can make a slime farm. Blaze rods, same thing. Gas tears, same thing. But spider eyes, and then diamonds. We're going to need a lot of diamonds, which is why I sped up the diamond nugget production and the gravel sifting. So spider eyes are kind of the odd one. We could use bees, but there's something else that drops spider eyes. Witches. So we need to get a witch. Now, I thought that there was a couple ways to get witches. Turns out I was wrong. So I thought a villager in getting struck by lightning would give us witches. That's not true. They will give you zombie villagers, at least in this version of Minecraft. I think that was changed later. I don't know for sure. So the second thing I tried, actually no, I couldn't get the villager to be struck by lightning. That wasn't working for me for whatever reason. He caught on fire a couple of times, but it didn't work. The second thing I thought of was witch water. Well, it turns it into a zombie villager, not a witch. So we gotta get witches somehow, and well, witchery is actually a really good way to do that. So we're gonna do a witchery ritual real quick. I've got to take off my armor because the UI messes with books, but we can summon a witch. We need diamond vapor, exhale the horn one. Okay, most of the stuff is pretty easy. Exhale the horn one. Magma cream, an Arthana, and a fermented spider eye. Okay, so we can go get those things fairly easily. Arthana we have on autocraft. Fermented spider eye we also have on autocraft. And what was the last thing? Magma cream, which we have on autocraft as well. Now, unfortunately, the magma creams we can't. As far as I'm aware, I can't get a magma slime. Actually, you know, I have multiple souls. Also, they kind of fluctuate because it doesn't know what size it is. But let's try something really kind of strange. So you can resummon anything with a mob soul. It is basically a mob. And so... Can't you? Oh, shift right click. Alright, so... You don't turn anything if you hit that. Okay, good to know. So slimes are actually really cool because you can get a lot of mob souls from them if you are patient, just because of the way they are. But I wondered if that would turn into a magma slime. The answer is no. So let's go ahead and do this ritual. We just need to change. It's a 7x7 of red. So that's not too much of an issue. We're just going to use the broom. And we need the other chalk. So we need infernal chalk. Infernal chalk. And that's ritual chalk, blaze powder, and netherwort. We have netherwort. We can go get blaze powder. What's the chalk again? Tear the goddess. Alright, so we're going to have to do a little bit more witchery than I thought. So we're going to need Tear the Goddess, which is breath and lapis. Breath and lapis. Anything else? No. So we'll get this stuff going. Let's go ahead and check on our bees again. We should have more combs. Oh, no flowers nearby. You need flowers. Aw. So we have plenty of flowers in here. We just have to give it some flowers so it actually gets to work. And this is something we're going to want anyways, so just have that right there. One of the last flowers got kind of struck by lightning and destroyed, so that was a bad thing, but whatever. Make sure we have no chalk in here. Okay, so blaze powder. And it's almost time to sleep, so I want to keep the bees working, so we'll just wait for a moment. There we go. So why do we want to get into bees so much anyways? I've talked about this before, but bees are going to be a good way to get access to resummoning the dragon so we can get a lot of dragon hearts. there are other ways, but they're really, 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 really nasty. So I don't really want to do it. And this is an easier way. So let's see, we need wood ash and gypsum, which is foul fume and quicklime. Foul fume and quicklime. Do we need to do 2 of those? Yes. And quicklime is just wood ash, crafted, so not too bad. Alright, so we can put this stuff in here. That's fine. Never really did much with witchery as of late. One of the big things we still never did was getting going to the spirit world and actually getting established there so that we can make the, what were we looking for the what is it called? It's another catalyst thing, isn't it? Yeah, the conjuration catalyst. We never got the focus will, which requires brew of flowing spirit, which is something that is a pain to make because you have to do it in the spirit world, and getting a halfway decent spirit world is not fun. So we are going to have plenty of slime from doing witchery stuff, but I don't know how much that's needed. Anyways, let's put our armor back on. We don't really need to not have it on anymore. This will be done here in a second. Then we do infernal chalk, which is this recipe. Pretty straightforward. We'll get our chalk down, we'll get the witch spawned, and then we'll capture it with a safari net, spawn it in a bunch. I'll do that off camera to get a soul, and we'll be good to go. So we'll just put that in there. It is a witch's cauldron recipe. So 1, 2, turn off magnets. 2, 3. Should get some sparks. And there we go. Infernal chalk. Let's check on the bees. Wait, what flowers do you want? Redstone. Oh, okay. We'll also put the redstone torch down. I wonder if a lot of them have been going after the redstone torches as of late. Okay, so now you should start working, right? There's flowers. I guess we'll just put the redstone torch there. Or do you want redstone ore? Or redstone dust? We have both of those, so we can put both of them up. See which one it is. Nope, it's working now, so never mind. It just needed to see it. It had to recheck. So there we go. Okay, so let's summon in the witch. So 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Break that. And witchery is a mod that I really do like, but I never really do much with it. So we'll put that stuff in there. Right click. And it should summon a witch. Should just be a normal witch. And there we go. We have a witch. Cool. So with that, I can start summoning in the witches. We can then start looking at getting a witch soul, which is just going to be a little bit of time, to be honest. It's not going to be that hard. And all I have to do is switch these guys out, activate it, and come back every once in a while and kill the witches. So do we have more combs yet? No, of course not. The waiting game. So I guess we can show off the Mutatron for now. So one of the big things that we're going to want to do, so let's see, we're going to want the labware. And let's start getting some of the upgrades made. So we're going to want, not lifespan, we're going to want a light upgrade. We're going to want a production upgrade. You only need one of each of those, luckily. And all we have to do, we'll put the labware in here. And let's breed something. So something we're going to want to get towards is one we can look at, like, okay, we want to see all the pristine bees we have. We have Imperial Princess that is pristine. That is really nice. So we can just kind of focus on them. And let's see, something that we're going to want to get to is the Draconic Bees. Draconic Bees are what has the... Did I get struck by lightning or something? I think I did. Draconic Bees are what has the ability that we want. And it's going to require Imperial. That's easy enough. We already have them. And Abandoned. Now, Abandoned is going to require Oblivion and Nameless, which requires Ethereal and Oblivion. So we're going to want to get some good Ethereal. So, Pristine Bees are going to be kind of hard to get at times. But what we're going to want to do, and this is something we're going to start working towards, once we have more combs, more infinity combs, to get more power cells, power modules, whatever, we're going to use that stuff to get access to the genetic sampler and the genetic imprinter, which will allow us to make bees. So we can take samples of the genes, get things like, oh, I don't know, the species type, and then put that onto other bees as we want. As we will. So, really cool thing. Really cool, really useful. But now we can make the apiary. So let's go ahead and do that. Takes a lot of bronze, but that's okay. And I wonder if this is going to be the achievement. I hope it is. So kind of getting started with bees and Gendustry is not too difficult. But two things. So we're going to want to make a flower to help with the pristine bees. Making more pristine bees is very useful. Also, this crossbreed, this how do I want to say it? Mutation only occurs within an enbiome at 6% chance. With the Mutatron, it's guaranteed 100% of the time. So there is the industrial apiary. And is that, like, the achievement? Did we already get the achievement and I just didn't get a trophy for it or something? Yeah, that might be broken. It crafted Gendustry power module. Alright, well, we did it, but I don't know what it wants specifically. I might look into that. But anyways, here is this guy. Automation upgrade. So this will automatically cycle the bees through. Light means it'll work all night. And then all we need to get is Imperial. We have a Pristine. And we want a Purebred, normal, fast. We want whatever has the biggest stack. So this guy. And we can start industrial apiary. So this is going to give us a lot of stuff. And all we'll have to do is, I think what I'm going to do is put a, how do we want to do this? We can just go around like so. Break that. And then we're going to get a bunch of item ducts to go basically into the system. And that should not be too difficult to do. So that will put item ducts, and that will require some filters and whatnot, but that's fine. Filters, we don't need like difficult filters, but what we can do is see, we can put stuff like this. This is looking a little ugly, but it's not that bad. So we want to remove this. We'll put a filter here, and this will be blacklisting, and this will be whitelisting, and then we'll just run this along here so that we can well, take all the combs and put them into the system. Royal jelly, for example, which we're going to go ahead and use to get access to the production upgrades. And yeah, it'll be great. So I don't know how I'm going to manage getting the supplies over here. We might use like a import bus. That might be a good way, but let's go ahead and make the upgrade. And I want to do a couple more things today, not too much, but let's go ahead and make the production upgrade. So what's the last thing we need? As a gear, of course it is. So we'll wait for that. Now the other thing I want to do, we're going to make two things. We're going to make a hibiscus, and we're going to make an oblivion hive, which for some reason is not visible, but we'll get to that in a moment. So there is the other upgrade, the last upgrade, the production upgrade, which we're going to basically, I'm going to let the Imperial Bees run for a little bit, and then we'll worry about it. So let's take a drone and a princess, and let's see, whitelist, nor metadata. I think that'll work. Actually, you know what? Let's not use these filters. I don't know if it's metadata or what that's going to give us access to basically fuzzy input. So let's get a higher tier filter. What's this give us? Or dictionary, and mod owner. So that's good. Because what are these guys? These are different. So if we look at bees, let's look at drones. All drones have the same item ID. They're just different metadata or damage values. I'm not sure which. So just to kind of make sure, we'll put a signalum filter on here. Whitelist these guys, ignore MBT and all that stuff. Okay. And then for this, we'll do the same thing except blacklist, ignore. Okay, so we shouldn't have any princesses going through, but if we do, then it shouldn't matter. And then all we'll have to do is just have a line like so. And that should kind of guarantee we can get everything out. And as we get more infinity combs, which infinity bees or something else we're going to start looking at getting into the system, we can get some servos into the industrial apiaries. That'll basically kind of allow us to get what we want. So we can start getting all the bees identified and whatnot. We can pump honey into the into this machine with a filter. That shouldn't be too hard. And basically it's just going to put everything else into the system. This already has a path into the system once the bees are identified, so it shouldn't be any problem. So just take that off and let's ignore. So that should take all that stuff out, and we should have combs in here and royal honey here in a second. Theoretically anyways. Also, let's go ahead and there's the royal jelly. Cool. Let's go ahead and put these in here. just so that things work a little bit better. Now, are you infinity? Ooh, you are. Now they have effects, flammable and lightning, which is kind of bad. We're going to stop running these guys for a moment. And let's get the hibiscus. So the hibiscus is a pretty complicated flower. It's not that bad, but it's complicated enough. And what it does is it uses mana. So we're going to want the floating one, but that's fine. So we're going to need air, summer, envy, greed, and pride. Envy, greed. We don't have pride. Alright, so what's pride? Pride is summer and fire. We don't have any fire currently. We're going to need one of these. Let's see. So summer and fire, we're going to need fire, which is 3 mana steel, nether brick, blaze lamp, fire, shard, nether brick, blaze lamp, mana steel times 3. Let's just start putting some of this stuff on here. The nether brick we'll get here in a second. What else do we need? So pride, fire, nether wart. Okay, easy enough, and it's done. Cool, so that will give us fire. Let's get the living rock. Just take a couple of those. We're gonna need seeds. Seeds. And this will just take a moment. So then we're gonna need 2 mana diamonds. And I heard that. Alright, cool. So there is the fire rune. So it's fire, summer, 2 mana diamonds. That's like the vanilla recipe. And then we also need a demonic slate, I believe. Let's see. Demonic slate. Okay. So not too terribly difficult. Just kind of annoying. And that'll make the pride. Now, do we get the runes back? I don't remember. Because if we did, could have just used stuff in here. But I don't want to like ruin this because this is all prepped for the big final thing for the everlasting mana pool, the creative mana pool. Okay, we get these back. That's good. All right, so we can put pride, fire. All right, cool. So it's all 7 of those runes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, we don't need fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Redstone root. And we're gonna need mana powder, 3 magenta, 1 red, 1 orange. We have 1 magenta, 1 orange. We can get more of those. There is a cool little trick. You get some bone meal and some shears. And just a place to do this. I guess let's just get a piece of dirt. So I believe this works in this version. Let's find out. You can plant them, bone meal them, break the top, and let's do that one more time just for good measure. If you break the top, you get the tall part, and that is what allows you to actually collect more. But if you break the other one, it doesn't give you any back, which is a bummer. So you just need 1 of these. Alright, put that in there. We'll put those in there. Why not? Okay, so then we just need the mana powder. which I do believe is just something like gunpowder or whatever thrown in a mana pool. Cool. So all we have to do now is toss all this stuff in here. And there is the hibiscus. So what's so important about this? Well, let's make it floating first of all. So we need a pasture seed, which I believe is like this. We're gonna want a lever, definitely. We're going to want a vacuum hopper or something. We'll go grab one of those in a moment. But we're gonna want some sort of flower. What do we have a lot of? We have a lot of green. Doesn't really matter. So we make glimmering, floating, and then we combine these to make the floating hibiscus. So what is important about the hibiscus? Well, we're going to place it down, like right here. It should be linked. And we're going to put a lever next to it because we don't want to use it all that often. This thing is a little bit... Oh, hey, this is the vacuum hopper. So we're going to put a vacuum hopper right here. And we throw the infinity bee, and it goes in the vacuum hopper, right? No, it went into here. So the hibiscus will eventually, it takes up to like 2 days in game, but still, it takes a while, but it'll eventually give us a pristine bee of whatever we threw into it. So it will take the ignoble out of the bee. It takes a good bit of mana and a lot of time to do this, but it is ultimately worth it. So that's what we're going to do, and it will spit out this. We can turn the lever on. This will not accept any more bees, but it will continue doing the process. So we should be able to come back later and have a pristine infinity bee. And then later, once we read it through this a bit, and since it is infinity, I have a couple other infinity bees. We can take one of them, and what we can do is eventually use the genetic imprinter and the genetic sampler to kind of alter its genetics however we want. And because it's pristine, it's no chance of decay, no chance of dying or anything like that, and it's awesome. So kind of the whole point with that is, well, once we have this kind of available to us, the bees we can make are the best production everything that we can possibly get, and that's the idea. So I am going to do a little bit of work between episodes, kind of setting up more stuff, more automation, cleaning up this area a little bit, start cycling through all the bees, probably figure out how I want to get the comb production inputted and outputted and all that kind of fun stuff. We do have a line over here. Does it have channels? It does. So we can just put a export bus and put a fuzzy card for combs. That should work pretty easily. And I'll just kind of get everything set up so that we can start looking at getting the bee products we want sent over to the main system. So power modules and royal jelly, and getting all the bee stuff kind of as automated as need be. We're going to want 2 more machines here, which is not too much of a problem. And yeah, we'll be able to make a lot of really cool stuff pretty easily and go from there. So next time we are going to make the Oblivion Hive. So let's get the Thaumonomicon, and I want to show that off real quick. This episode's going a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So there is... where is it? Here it is. Advanced Magic Hives. So we need a mana-infused hive, with a bunch of endstone and a bunch of stuff, and we can make the Oblivion Hive. And that will give us Oblivion drones and princesses. We can start cycling them through, get a bunch of them, get the species and whatnot, get all the bees, basically. That's the plan. And a lot of this stuff we can kind of clean up. Anything that's excess that we don't really want, we can just easily throw it through a genetic sampler, get what we need. Do a lot of different things. So kind of a mixture of using mana. We're not really using the mana for anything anyways right now. So using the hibiscus to get the bees we want. And yeah, we should be able to do everything we need to kind of get the draconic bees that we really want, so that we can automatically resummon the Ender Dragon, so we can get a bunch of draconic hearts, so we can get a bunch of awakened draconium. I think the next episode we're going to look at automating draconic awakened draconium, because might as well. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it is gonna be difficult enough. But yeah, should be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Bees. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.